the compulsive sexual behavior will lead to the stress and anxiety. But now you want to escape the stress and anxiety. So what do? You go back and act out in your compulsive sexual behavior. Hey guys, behavioral health and sex addiction recovery coach Rob Lopicola here. And if you are courageously battling with compulsive sexual behavior or sex addiction and you are seeking a way out, you want to finally get reprieve in your life, subscribe to my channel right now. Every Tuesday I post a new video with strategies and techniques that you can use immediately to start changing and transforming your life. I have recovered from sex addiction, meth addiction, and alcohol addiction for many, many years. And I stay spiritually grounded, centered, self-aware, and present every single day. And I have a coach that helps me to maintain a life of peace and serenity and being present. And that's what I do. I coach men who are courageously battling compulsive sexual behaviors that are putting their life at risk, their marriage, their relationships, their career, their financial stability, their reputation. And I help to change and transform their lives, to reclaim their lives, to save, of course, their marriages, relationships, careers, future, freedom, financial stability, and ultimately experience healthy sexual expression free from shame, guilt, and isolation. So if this is you, please subscribe to my channel. You are in the right spot. But what we're doing here is a 6-week series on the seeds of sex addiction. And this is week 4 now. One of the seeds that feeds your sex addiction is stress. Yes. Stress and anxiety can feed your sex addiction. In fact, stress and anxiety can feed anybody struggling with any addiction. You want to escape the stress, you want to escape the anxiety, the discomfort, and you escape into what you believe is going to make you feel better. The disease of sex addiction makes you believe that if you go act out sexually, whether it's pornography, masturbation, anonymous sex, or whatever the case may be, that's your component of sex addiction or your sexually compulsive behavior that makes you feel better and gives you the fix. Whatever that is, your disease makes you believe you need that to feel better. You need that to relieve yourself of the stress and anxiety. The challenge for the active sex addict is that it becomes a perpetuating circle. It's a cycle, and the cycle would be compulsive sexual behavior brings stress. Well, how does it bring you stress? Well, if you're compulsively sexually addicted to certain behaviors, you likely are hiding it from your loved ones or your partner if you're in a relationship. You feel shame and guilt because of those behaviors. You keep secrets. You don't want anybody to know what you're doing in your compulsive sexual behavior. You may lie to people about it. You may be living a double life. A lot of stress with that. And if you feel like you're behaving in sexual ways that you are afraid will become known, you're always looking over your shoulder. You don't want anyone to know. You got to keep up with your lies, your stories, your anxiety, a lack of sleep and insomnia. That can bring stress. I have a cold today, so I have the sniffles, but I'm still coming to you like I promise every Tuesday. In the meantime, the compulsive sexual behavior will lead to the stress and anxiety. But now you want to escape the stress and anxiety. So what do? You go back and act out in your compulsive sexual behavior. Your belief is that behavior is going to relieve you. The disease, which lives in the mind, is going to make you believe you'll feel better if you act out sexually. See? So we got that circle, that cycle. Sex, stress, sex, stress. And you live that way over and over and over for months, years, or maybe decades. There is the cycle of sex addiction, which is preoccupation, which is you're thinking about the sexual behavior that'll make you feel better. Then the obsession that once you start thinking about it repeatedly over and over again, it becomes an obsession. And then the obsession leads to acting out sexual behavior. That becomes compulsion. Now, once you start, you seemingly can't stop. Now, once you do stop, you feel desperate, hopeless. So we have the cycle of sex addiction, which is preoccupation, obsession, compulsion, and despair. When you're in despair, which would be the stress, you go back to preoccupation, thinking about acting out, then the obsession and the compulsion, then back to despair, which would be the stress. And this cycle continues again for months, years, or decades, and you seemingly are unable to escape the cycle. And what a horrible way to live. What a way to live in misery. Then you live a life wearing masks, fake, feeling inferior, ashamed, guilty on some level, hating yourself, self-deprecation. A lot of this happens when you live this cycle. So what we have to do is two things here. One, we have to understand that real freedom from stress and anxiety is not coming from acting out sexually. You got to get out of denial. You have to believe and realize and acknowledge and face the truth that acting out sexually is only enhancing the stress. You have to come to be aware of that. I know you may know it, but you really got to look at that. You really have to admit the fact, wow, when I do act out, it actually does lead to more despair, stress, and anxiety. And two, well, what are other ways that I can cope with stress and anxiety? There must be productive ways to deal with stress and anxiety. And of course there are. You probably already know them. Now it's a matter of applying them. See, knowledge is not going to fix the problem, but applying what you know or what you're learning will, in time, fix the problem. Because the problem isn't your sex addiction. The problem is the way you think. The problem is your perceptions. The problem is the way you look at sex, because you believe the sex is making you feel better, when in reality, it makes you feel worse. And you know that now. That's why you're here. So how can you deal with stress and anxiety that's productive, that actually will bring long-term reprieve? Well, a couple of quick ideas that you already know. No revelation here, but now it's a matter of doing. My coach told me, take the body, the mind will follow. Remember that. Go to the gym. Now, you might not want to in your brain. Your brain wants to go on Grindr, or your brain wants to go on Tinder, or your brain wants to go to the sex shop, or your brain wants to watch porn. Take the body where you know you need to go. The brain will follow. Take the body to the gym. The brain will eventually say, you know what? This actually does feel good, right? Take the body. The mind will follow. Go to the gym, go for a walk in the park, go play with your puppy, read something uplifting, call a friend, go get a cup of coffee with someone that loves you unconditionally, that you feel good around, that you can laugh with. Cope with stress and anxiety by journaling. Cope with stress and anxiety by sharing your feelings of fear or your anxiety with someone that will listen to you, that can maybe bounce back something constructive for you. You have to start learning how to apply what you know. You know this. A lot of you right now, if you're listening to this, you're like, yeah, I know. I know I need to go to the gym. I just don't. Well, stop that now. Take the body, the mind will follow. Go to the gym anyway, because the mind will follow you there eventually. I promise. It's worked for me and it'll work for you. Very, very simple. So that is your fourth seed of the 6 in your active compulsive sexual behaviors or sex addiction, however you want to look at it. Either way, it's hurting your life. So I'm grateful that you spent today with me. If this video resonates with you and you want more videos to help you transform and change your life and reclaim your life and have freedom from your sex addiction, subscribe to my channel right now. And I have a 30-minute free 10-step strategy session. I want you to, the link will be below. Go to xxxrelief.com, watch that video. It's a free coaching session, if you will, or it's a free workshop. It's going to help you begin the process of changing and reclaiming your life. So thanks for sticking with me. I have a cold, so thanks for tolerating my sniffles a little bit. And I look so forward to seeing you again next Tuesday for the 5th seed of sex addiction. Take care and have a great day.